It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hardworking entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this particular episode, we have the one and only Chris S. Harrell, who's in the building. He'll be talking about the fastest path to 6K in your business. What's going on, Chris? How are you?
Oh, doing well, Shay. Awesome. Appreciate being here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you here. We were talking behind the scenes earlier. We had connected about 5 or 6 years ago. You're still in business. Congratulations.
I know, right? That does say a lot nowadays, right?
Yeah, hey, the first step is to be here and it's to show up, and then it's to be profitable, which is something that we're going to have a conversation with on this particular episode. But I'm curious. I always like to address the elephant in the room, which is what's the challenges? What's the problems? People here make 6K in a day, 6K in a month, 6K in a year. There's always, I'm going to make this money. Yet when you go look at the SBA, if you believe the reports, most folks ain't making no money. They can't leave their jobs. They can't buy the things they want to buy. And so that money eludes them. That means they can't have the resources they need to execute the vision. So my question to you specifically is, what's some of the challenges that are facing entrepreneurs today that holds them back from really building a successful online business, man?
Yes, that's an awesome question. And the very first word comes to my mind is overwhelmed, right? There is so much noise today online. And most people who want to build a successful business, like see, what you said was spot on. I checked the statistics. The IRS and I believe the SBA says that less than 13% of all small business owners in America generate $100,000 or more per year, and that's all businesses. But online, the number even gets much smaller. Less than 3% of all online entrepreneurs, no matter what they're selling, coaching, consulting, digital courses, e-commerce, whatever, less than 3% generate $100,000 more per year. And that's a startling statistic because most people today, you would think everybody's balling out of control by their posts and everything people are posting, right? But most people are not. And usually I think the first thing is overwhelmed. People are overwhelmed with so much information, so much noise today online, everyone coming off to be an expert. And people just get stuck. A confused mind doesn't move. A confused mind doesn't take action. So first thing is, I see people having a problem with is being overwhelmed with too much information. I can expand more, but yeah, that's the first thing.
So one problem is too much information. What's another problem? I mean, folks are listening. They're leaning in, and I know the one reason they showed up because they looked below and they saw this title that says, wait a minute, the fastest path to 6K, Shay? Well, yeah, we're going to get to that. But some people are wondering, well, is this for me? I'm overwhelmed. Is there any other challenges that face to hold people back from really breaking through in their business?
Yeah. First thing I would like to say, what's like the most popular restaurant in America today? Fast food restaurant in America today? Chick-fil-A, right?
Yes.
Why is Chick-fil-A so popular? Because they have a system. Literally, it doesn't matter what Chick-fil-A you go to. I'm here in the heart of Chick-fil-A, here in Texas too. Chick-fil-A is everywhere in Texas. But don't matter what Chick-fil-A I go to, California, Texas, Georgia, Rhode Island, Illinois, there's something you see always working because they have a system in place, no matter who works there. But most people today do not have a system. They lack a system to generate high quality leads, a system to be able to take those high quality leads and convert them into buyers, right? And then a system to be able to fulfill on your promise and give those buyers the results. So people lack a system. And so if you don't have a system, you're going to suffer burnout, which also is in conjunction with being overwhelmed with so much noise. So overwhelmed and lack of a system is a reason why most online entrepreneurs are not generating six figures is a magic number. Most people are like, if I can just hit 6 figures, right? That changes the game for so many. And statistics say that since only 3% of online entrepreneurs actually hit that mark. I'm blessed to hit that mark. I'm blessed to have my clients hit that mark. But most people overwhelmed and lack of a system prevents them from hitting that revenue mark. And until you get those things in place, you will never do it.
Now, you're known in the market as the Kingdom marketing Superman. And we're going to get into his backstory. I know y'all are reading his bio below. I get it. I know y'all already looking up the gentleman. I get it. But, marketing means different things to different people. So I would like, Kingdom Marketing Superman himself to come back and say, look, Shay, you need a system, and this is how marketing ties into that system. And maybe it's just a logo. I have no idea. Maybe it's about the colors you wear. I have no idea. But as you're listening right now, he talked about a system, he talked about online, and now I want him to talk about his definition of marketing. And I know it's going to sound like overly like Shay, it's the craziest question in the world, but wouldn't you want to get his perspective on what is marketing, why it's important, and how you can implement it into your business to get to that six figures? Maybe it's a logo. I don't know. But give us your definition you can of marketing, if you would.
Well, I do appreciate that, and I do have, I got my crown right here, and I do have a royal robe, so I take this kingdom marketing thing to heart. I actually got a robe in my closet. I didn't want to bust out my robe today, but no, the kingdom marketing Superman actually comes from the audience that I serve. I serve kingdom coaches, consultants, and course creators and experts, helping, who are frustrated, inconsistent sales, help them land their dreams, clients fast, use our rapid success system. And so, and I use kingdom principles along with marketing principles, and that's I kind of put those two together. And I'm a Superman too. I got a whole other outfit with me in a Superman costume. So I just combine both worlds together, right? And and known as the Kingdom Marketing Superman. So I buy kingdom and marketing together. But marketing, in my opinion, is simply the sales process you use to take a complete stranger to a buyer. It's like the vehicle. Like I tell folks all day long, everything can work. There are a lot of different methods to get clients or customers online, but there's some things that work faster and better than others. And what I choose to do now, and what I choose to teach my clients, is a method that can give them the fastest success possible. Because some people might be still, a lot of people still working their full-time job, like I used to be, right? I used to have a full-time job, and I had to do my business part-time. And I knew I did not have 16 hours a day to post all day online on social media, or try to go viral, organic, going live daily, and try to invite people to groups, all this stuff. I didn't have that time. I'm married with kids, and I had a job. So I had to figure out, okay, I need a sales process that's going to allow me to take a complete stranger who doesn't know me from Adam and to a hot buyer the fastest. And so to me, that's all marketing is. What vehicle are you using? What sales process are you using to do that? And I got a special process that we use, called the KVE technique, which in my opinion is the fastest way to take a complete stranger to a hot buyer in literally a matter of hours, or 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 days. And so that's the process we choose to use. And that's the process that allowed me to literally go from struggling in my business, not getting the results I want, to literally creating a 6-figure business in only 59 days. And so now I teach other online, coaches, consultants, experts the same model, because it's fast, and it's a very simple process.
I like it. And we're going to get into at least one or two ideas that y'all can walk away with today that you could use in your own business. But I know some of you are wondering, Shay, slow down for a minute. Who is this Chris? You say he's the Kingdom Marketing Superman. What's his backstory, Shay? What led him to where he is today? What was that defining moment in his life that he said to himself, this is what I'm born to do. This is what I'm focused on. And I know some of them, and Chris, just so you know, some folks that are listening, a lot of our audience, they're dualpreneurs. They work a full-time job and they're full-time entrepreneur. And yeah, you can't be a 9-to-5 millionaire. It's possible. You have the right system in place, and there's no shame. I don't you feel like, oh my gosh, it's a shame being. No, it's okay to have a job. But some of you don't want to have that, right? Some of you don't want to have that. So I want Chris to step back and slow down for a moment and tell you, who is he? What's his backstory, and what was that defining moment that led him to what he's doing now? So, Chris, if you could share that with the audience. I know everyone knows you, but there's a few people that might not know you, man.
Oh, of course, yeah. Someone don't know me. I give you like the Cliff Note version, but basically, I'm married with 3 kids. I'm also a best-selling author in my book back here, Kingdom Affirmations, as well. But I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, coach, all that good stuff. But what really happened for me, like I said, I've been full-time online since 2016. But my breakthrough didn't happen until a couple years ago. When I came online, I knew that being an entrepreneur is what I wanted to do. I've always had that inkling. Now, when I had a job, I told myself I'm psychologically unemployable, because it was very difficult for me to hold down jobs, because I always dreamed and wanted to be in business full time. wanting to serve, just had those desires in me. And then when the opportunity finally came, I was able to fire my job. But beautiful thing about having a job is you can use that revenue from your job to fund your business. A lot of folks make the mistake. They don't have revenue to fund their business. Now you can't grow your business. But for years, I did everything, all the quote unquote gurus told you to do. I went live daily. I did webinars, video sales letters, lunch groups, did product launches. Did blogging, SEO, credit all these social media platforms, Clubhouse Room. I did everything under the sun I was told to do to be successful. To let folks know, hey, I can help you. I have this expertise, and none of those things work. I plateaued. I had mediocre success. It was always up and down. To a couple of years ago, God led me to a method that I coined called the KVE technique. And at this time, I was at a really dark place in my life. My wife and I was really divorced. She was getting frustrated because the income revenue wasn't coming in, and it was at a really dark place. And it even got so dark that literally I thought about ending my life. No lie, I called the suicide hotline. My kids was outside my office. I was frustrated because I understand all this hustling and grinding and doing everything I'm supposed to do. Why am I not succeeding? Why am I not prospering? But literally, when I called that suicide hotline, Shay, they told me that I was caller 54. And I had an epiphany that day. And I said, if I'm caller 54, that means there are 53 other people who also thinking about ending it all, for a temporary problem. So I hung up the phone. Once I hung up the phone, I believe God told me 3 words: trust and obey. And I shut things down for 6 weeks. I sought God, and God led me to someone who taught me this model that I use, that I coined, called the KVE technique. And literally everything shifted. I had a whole new coaching business, had a brand new audience, and I trusted this process, and I shut everything else off. And literally I was able to create a 6-figure business in 59 days. And I was like, wow, I'm on to something here. If I can do this, how many other coaches, consultants, experts who have a great expertise, they're good at what they do, yet they can't get their message out, yet they can't get their expertise out in front of their ideal audience, and yet they're probably frustrated like I am. And some might even have some of the same thoughts that I did about, just ending it all because things just wasn't working out. And so it led me to launch our God's Masterpiece community, and eventually led us to launch our God's Masterpiece Rapid Success System and what we do now. And so, but it's using this simple 2-step process. I had to simplify my business. I was doing everything under the sun. I had to simplify my business to a simple 2-step process. I put my blinders on and I ignored all the noise. I stopped doing all the things the gurus told you to do. And I focused on a simple 2-step process, and that changed everything for me. And he's doing the same thing
And
now.
I love how you tie that back to there was a lot of overwhelm early on, and then now you nailed it down to 2 steps. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, he's not going to leave you hanging. He's not going to leave you on the cliff. I know you want to know what the 2 steps are. I get it. I get it. You heard his story, and thanks for being so transparent. And thanks for heeding to the call and doing what you're doing now. And it's really serious, but you're making it happen. You're making a huge difference. Take a moment if you can and share kind of what's the 1, 2. I know you can't do it in the amount of time we have, and it's an unfair question. Many of you are different places. Some of you are just getting started, and some of you are very seasoned. But he has his rapid success system, and you can all plug in. But I'm going to ask him the best he can to kind of say, hey, Shay, here's kind of step 1, and here's kind of step 2, and overall, here's some things you can do. And don't worry, you'll have a chance to connect with him, because some of you want to customize it. Some of you are like, well, how does it work for me? I'm in a different industry. I'm doing this. I've already got a coach over here. I already got a consultant over here. How does it fit? He's going to give you his information, but I at least want him to share with you his 2-step process. So if you can do that, Chris, I really appreciate it, my man.
Oh, most definitely. No problem. Because it's when I tell people, they like, that's it. I say, that's it. A simple 2-step process. And it works for someone who just started yesterday. So you've been in business 1 day, or you've been in business for 10,101 days. It will work and grow your business faster than anything else. And it's very simple. We get targeted ads from Facebook or YouTube ads and run them to a live virtual event, or something that I call a KVE, a Kingdom virtual event. I call it Kingdom virtual event because the Bible says to taste and see that the Lord is good. And this is a taste and see method, a taste and see process. And how it differs than everything else out there is that most techniques, most methods, client acquisition things people tell you to do is about buy this first, and then I'll help you. Right? People say, They doing sales pitches. Come buy this first, and then I can help you. This is the total opposite. One of my mentors taught me a long time ago. Guy done well over $100 million online. He said, Chris, the best way to demonstrate you can help people, he says, not so much by you telling people how good you are. He says, not so much by having your clients tell other folks how good you are. Those things are great, and I have those things in place. But if you're brand new, you won't have those things in place. He said, the best way to demonstrate it is simply by helping people. He said, demonstrate you can help people by simply by helping them and by giving them what we call results in advance. And so in this method here, what it does is allows you to show your expertise to your ideal audience and give them results in advance. Because if you give your ideal audience results in advance, there's something happens psychologically. What happens? Well, the KLT factor increases. What's the not KFC? People think not Kentucky Fried Chicken, but the know, like, and trust factor, right? And people do business with those who they know, like, and trust. And this method is set up to. I mean, I can share 10 things with your audience if they won't. There's 10 things they can do. But it gives you authority position. It gives your clients results in advance. It gives you audience connection. Gives you stage experience. Hey, you be interviewed like Shay, but right on this show like this, but it gives you stage experience. It allows you to grow your tribe and grow your list very quickly. It leverages kingdom laws, the shared one. It allows you to become more visible in a noisy space online. The currency of today online is attention because there's so much noise online. This gives you immediate visibility online. It increases your reach. Ninth thing, it consistently fills your program. And the 10th thing, it creates an environment where people feel like buying from you. See, buying is an emotional experience and people justify with logic. This gives you all 10 of those things, and it creates an environment where people feel like buying from you, where literally you sell without selling. And I've done everything else. There's no other medium, method, technique that combines all 10 of these things at once. So that's why it's so powerful. And that's the process that we use. Of course, there's a lot more to it, different forms of technicality.
Yeah. And
that's it. Simple two-step process, brother. Live paid traffic, because why? We want the fastest results. And I can get right in front of my dream clients just like this in a matter of minutes by having targeted paid ads on YouTube or Facebook and send them to a live virtual event and give them those 10 things I just shared with you. And then know, like, and trust factor is going to increase, where they get transformation, where they get quick wins, where they get ahas. And their mindset is like, my goodness. If I'm getting, say it's a 3-day virtual event, well, your honest mindset is, if I'm getting this much value for free, I wonder what it's like to be in their program, right? And so as I tell folks all day long, I'm giving you this much value for free. Your thinking is, I wonder what it's like to be in Chris's paid program. And so that's the mindset that you want your audience to have, and no other technique today, besides an in-person event, which is way more expensive to do and launch, can actually do this. So that's why it's perfect for online entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, course traders, experts. I even know teachers and pastors who begin to use this process as well. So it's just amazing. Anyone wants to educate people, want to help transform more lives, want to create more impact. It's the ideal sales process, the ideal method, the ideal business model to use.
I love it. And then what do you say the person is listening is saying, I love it. I love what he's saying. But what's his philosophy, Shay? What's his mindset around, am I giving away too much? I mean, oh my gosh, you want me to do it for free? I paid to know this stuff. And I'm not saying this is you out there listening. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it is. But, the question may be, wait a minute, I went to school to learn this, or I went to the school of hard knocks to learn this, or I paid a coach a lot of money, and Chris wants me to do some event, and he wants me just to give it to strangers. Am I giving away too much? So here's the question directly. What's your philosophy around giving away too much information?
Yeah, great question. I used to have that belief system as well. Here's the deal. I've done several of these, what I call Kingdom virtual events or virtual events, and I've done some that have been paid. I've done some that have been free. My most profitable ones have all been the ones that were free. Now, I got some that I teach in my system on how to get a buyer within 2 minutes of a free virtual event. That's something else. But my most profitable ones have been free. And say if you're brand new, right? Brand new coach, a consultant or whatnot, and you don't have an established brand, you got 1 million followers, which you don't need, right? This will also allow you to build up your email list. And because like I tell folks right now, we're not concerned about charging people up front to attend. You want people to come to experience your expertise, because this is going to position you as an authority. right? Doesn't matter what niche you're in, they're going to see you as your authority. And so you don't have to be a guru. And so what I've noticed is that when we do it free, it's way, even with my clients, it's way more profitable than say we may charge $97 or whatever. That upfront money is not going to be anything what you get on the back end money, right? During your virtual event. And so, once you get to a certain place, maybe you feel you want to charge, that's fine. But I'm telling you, if you give people this value, again, the KLT factor, because they're going to compare you to others. They're going to be like, I've been on this person's webinar over here. Oh, I've been to this person virtual summit or something, or a challenge, or I've been to this person YouTube channel, right? And they're going to compare you to others. And when they get ahas, when they get breakthrough, when they get transformation, and I've seen people experience this. We've had people cry, break down, just like, Chris, you don't understand. I paid $15,000 for this thing over here. True story. I wish I had the video. I had a young lady after one day attending my virtual event. She recorded on day 2. I asked. She said, Chris, and she's a financial consultant, and she's been a part of paid masterminds where she's paid $20,000, $25,000 for this. She said, Chris, day 1 of this masterclass, this virtual event was worth $7,500 by itself. She said, folks don't know the amount of value you're giving, right? And that spoke wonders to me, because the average person would be like, oh, I need to charge $7,500. No, I'm like, oh, I'm right where I need to be, because I'm giving them so much transformation and ahas. They're going to do whatever they have to do to work with me long term, because they won't get this any other place. Everybody else like, pay me first, then I help you. It's like, no, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some nuggets, some ahas, and it's going to cause them to want to work with you long term. That's why I love this process.
Said so well, man. We have a segment here called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that know what we're about to do, you can lean forward. You know what we're about to do. Today is my January 1st. Some of you can go ahead and say it. I know you wait till 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night just to say those words to be fresh. So you can say them. Today is January 1st.
My January 1st. All right.
I know it feels good to you. And others of you are very new. This is your very first episode. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We're glad to have you as part of the family. Please pay this message forward or share it with someone else. Today is my January 1st is our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. Today is my January 1st means your past. No matter what the past is, it no longer equals your future. And so my question to Christopher, or Chris on the other side, when he's listening, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. One, what do you hear? And number 2, what was a moment? You had so many. There was a January 1st moment for you where you had to restart. You had to start over again and bounce back.
Yeah, Shay, thank you for asking that. Well, when I hear that question, I hear 2 words: new beginnings. January 1st is a reset. It's like, and it's a Bible passage that talks about forget what lies behind you in the past. Focus on ahead by pressing forward. So when I hear January 1st, it's like, okay, forget what happened last year. Maybe you didn't hit your financial goals. Maybe you didn't get your results, but you know what? You can now, because literally that's what happened for me. I mean, when I think about that, when I was at rock bottom, when things wasn't working, I had a former mentor who betrayed me, and all these things was piling on. My wife wanted to leave me, and it was all these things piling on at once. But I would say you can pray and ask God for breakthrough, but you have to do a couple of things. First thing you got to do, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision that enough is enough. See, God said He give you the power to create wealth, but He won't give you wealth. So a lot of folks who believe in God, they're lazy. I mean, let's keep 100, right? So God said, no, I'm not going to give you a baked cake. I give you the ingredients to bake a cake, but I'm not going to give you a baked cake. So you got to bake the cake. So first thing you got to do is make a decision that this is what you're going to do. I always tell folks, you say yes now and work out the details later, right? So you got to make a decision. I'm doing this. I'm in. Then secondly, you got to invest. You got to invest time and you got to invest money to get the right coaches, the right mentoring, the right system in place. You have to. The Bible says God is not mocked. Whatever man sows, he shall reap. So you have to sow before you reap. It's oxymoronic out there to think that I'm going to build a successful business and never invest in my skill set, never invest in my knowledge, never invest in systems, never invest in resources. So you have to invest financially to get the right system, the right tools, the right resources, the right community, all that kind of stuff to build out the dream business that you want. And then You stick to that. You stick to that decision. You make a decision. You invest to get help, right? And then you stick to it no matter what. You get a true why that keeps you in the game. Because one thing I've learned from another mentor that says, uh, disruption always follows intention. Meaning that once you set out to do something, there's going to be some challenges that are going to come your way. They're going to challenge your decision. Did you make the right decision? Are you sure you cut out for this? These limiting beliefs are going to start attacking you. That's part of the process. I tell my clients all day long. Yeah, especially like I get brand new clients come on board, I'm having success system, they're on cloud nine. But I tell them straight up, there are going to be some days where the emotion is going to leave. And you got to figure out, why am I truly doing this? I said, because that's what's going to keep you in the game. It's not going to be all hunky-dory every day, because if business was easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be successful. I said, but it can be simple, because now you have a process and a system. I said, but it's never easy. I said, but once you have those things and you clear, that keeps you in the game. And that's what kept me in the game in those dark moments. I've had several dark moments, right, where I just want to throw in the towel and give up. But when I realized what my biggest why is, with my family, in alignment with my kingdom assignment while I'm on this planet, what God put me on this earth to do, that kept me in the game when the enemy wanted to take me out the game, right? And so you got to be clear on those things, because it's not just about money. If you're in it for money, then you're not going to be in it very long. I learned it the hard way many, many years ago. But you got to have something that's going to keep you in the game when those challenges come, because they're inevitable, but it's part of the journey. They're supposed to come. If they don't come, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing on this planet.
Well said. One of my favorite questions to ask, that I love to share and ask, which is, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given, right? And I like to always frame it around, you've had so many mentors. You mentioned several mentors throughout this conversation, and you didn't get here by yourself. There were so many mentors along this journey of life. But if there was one idea that you hold near in your heart, you say, listen, I got a lot, but here's just one I'm going to share. I got so many, but I'm going to share in a time. What's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And you at home, I want you to lean in. Maybe you're listening right now and you're cooking. Maybe you're driving in the car. Maybe you're at the gym. This is a time to kind of lean back in if you're tuned out for a moment, because here's something that Chris holds near and dear in his heart. You may never meet his mentor. You may never have the conversation. It might have been someone he never met, just followed online. But you can take this one idea. And how many ideas do you need to really change your life? One. Because one good idea implemented is better than 1,000 right now. You only need one. He says 2 steps. I'm asking for one right now. That's kind of hard. So anyway, Chris, if you can, what's one piece of advice that you would share with the folks that you would pass along that's been given to you, man?
Yes. Like I said, so many, but one that sticks out to me, one that I constantly put on repeat when I'm sharing, is, I learned this many, many moons ago, is that your best thinking has you where you are today. See, all of us have been conditioned by society, by family, by friends, by churches, by schools, by the government, by all these different things. We've been conditioned by these things, and they have shaped our mindset. See, our minds, 90% of our success is a mindset. See, everybody come to me for strategies. They're like, "Yeah, Chris, we know you're an expert in online marketing and all this other stuff. Tell me how to do this." I said, "I can tell you how to do this, but I said, it's a good possibility you're not going to get the results that you want. Not because I'm telling you bad advice. It's just because of what's going on up here. Because what's going on up here is going to be challenged by what I'm going to tell you to do. Because I always tell folks this: when you make a decision to change, you got to make a decision based off where you want to be, not where you currently are. And most folks don't really understand that, because they don't really realize how much the conditioning dictates their behaviors, right? And so your best thinking has you where you are today. So if you're not satisfied with the results you have in your life and or business, there should be some type of some warning lights going off, or some bells that's saying that, well, if I'm not happy, and now I realize that my best thinking, not the man's, not my mama's, not the cat, not the dog, not anybody, but my best thinking has manifested these results I have in my life and business today. And if I want something new, then it means I have to take on new thinking, right? I got to receive new thinking that challenges my current old thinking, because my old thinking is not giving me the results that I want. And so you got to be willing to have a mindset shift. You got to be willing to accept new paradigms, a new way of thinking, in order to receive new results. And that's one of the biggest things for me, because I used to think I knew it all. To one of my mentors, I think around 2012, said, "Chris, let me tell you something straight up. You're self-sabotaging yourself. You don't know it all. If you knew it all, Chris, you'd be getting the results you want right now. And I had to swallow that hard pill. Like, oh, you know what? That's my ego talking. I was allowing my ego to outweigh my bank account. Never allow your ego, like most people do, never allow your ego to outweigh your bank account. But here's the beautiful thing. If you come to the place where you accept it, you know what? You're right. My best thinking has manifested this, but now I can change it right now by making a decision. And then you take on new thinking and you begin making decisions based off where you want to be 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 2 years from now. And once you do that, and you don't allow fear, limited beliefs, what didn't work in the past, what such and such saying don't do, and you realize that you focus on what you should be doing, then now those things can manifest. Now those things that God has already put in you, this dream, these visions of things where you want to go, now those things can be manifest, but you have to take on new thinking. I mean, there's no way around. The Bible says that you have to renew your mind daily, right? As a man think within himself, so is he, Proverbs 23:7. I mean, so you have to take on new thinking, guys. I don't care. God has no respect to person. God has laws in place that work if you understand the laws, right? But it takes new thinking to understand those laws. So to me, once you understand that your best thinking has you where you are today, and you really dissect it and meditate on that, and you let that challenge you, and you say, you know what? Okay, I'm ready to take on new thinking now because I'm not happy where I am right now. Only then will you be ready for something new.
I love it. In the time that we have left, 2 questions. One, what type of clients are you working with these days? If your firm is taking on any. And number 2, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in the conversation? How can they attend something that you're doing right now over and beyond the time that we have on this particular episode?
Almost definitely. I would love to share more and more. But yes, right now what we do is I help Christian coaches, consultants, experts, and course creators, who are frustrated, inconsistent sales, land their dreams clients fast using our rep success system. So those are the clients I'm primarily working with right now. So if you're an online course creator, like a coach, a consultant, an expert, and you want to sell more of your consulting services, and more you want to sell coaching packages, sell more of your courses, you want to create educational trainings, things of that nature. That's what we're working with. And what I've done, which is pretty awesome, I put together a 5-day virtual intensive. It's free, 5 days for your audience to come and attend. And all they need to do is simply go to my namesake, go to chrissharold.com. I don't know if we can put the link up somewhere, but go to chrissharold.com, and they can attend this. It's free. I could literally sell this 5-day intensive for $2,000. Young lady told me one day it was worth $7,500. So I literally could sell this for $2,000 and it'd be a steal, but it'd be free 5-day intensive where I was teaching show your audience how to get clients consistently using our KVE technique and some other amazing methods right there to help you accelerate your results and truly compress time frames. So he's got on a 5-year plan. I want your audience to get on the 3 to 6 month plan, right? To be able to create the results that they want. And that's what this will help them do.
Fantastic. Well, let me say thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. We got to have you back again.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for the invite. I love it.
And thank you to the audience. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this. We really do appreciate it. Every share we appreciate. Every DM message we appreciate. I want you to know as you're listening right now, as I love to share every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It never grows old. It really never does. And that is that you are so awesome, that you are really incredible. You're super spectacular. Like you're a unique individual, and that for you, no matter what you're going through, today indeed is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And we wish you success. Peace. Thanks a lot, Chris. We out of here. Bye-bye, everybody.